Well, we're back here from commercial break with our backstage interviews with, unfortunately, the end of this big tour that was amazing. I did not see these twists and turns here tonight. We had The Undertaker be involved with Danger now and the Fatal 4-Way with Clash of Champions with the Mid-Carter Championship. We had Baron Corbin be the newest addition here to TPW, now added to the faction of Destroyer. We had The Rock, the Rams brother, come into play in the main event against the Destroyer for his championship. So many twists and turns, but we have the Destroyer to clarify some things here backstage after his big win against his own uncle, and he beat him up afterwards too. Hear from the Destroyer right now. Destroyer, you relentlessly beat up your own uncle after the match, and you won it fair and square, and you still managed to like literally cause big damage to Dwayne. And um, what do you have to say about these things? Like I said, Pepperjack, it doesn't matter who it is. It was an open challenge since last night, and Dwayne decided to fly all the way here from his magical Hollywood jet place or whatever, get on his little plane, fly all the way over here just to lose. I mean, yeah, it was nice to face my uncle and everything, but come on, he's like almost 50. I mean, how do you expect a man like that to lace up his boots and face a youngster like me for my championship? There's no way he was gonna win. No way. And right away I busted him open. He got what was coming to him. Yeah, he got one pinfall on me, but that was nonetheless, I did possibly end the career of The Rock. Just like I did to Razor, and just like I will do to C. Brown at the pay-per-view Clash of Champions. It doesn't matter who it is again, it doesn't matter who will be involved again, I will win. No doubt about that. Um, and I guess that's really all I have to say. I mean, besides our newest addition, welcome Baron Corbin to my faction. I mean, soon enough we'll have Danger be the new Mid-Carter champion. Maybe Baron will go for the new talent championship against Davis. We never know. And we'll be full of champions in our midst. And we will be the most dominant faction in TPW history ever. Well, I can see that because you have proven yourself time and again here, and even though you had your managers at ringside, they didn't get involved, and you still managed to pick up the win, and that is a huge feat for you. Beating the likes of The Rock and beating C. Brown twice in both tag team matches, and um, beating whoever really challenges you. So, I mean, a lot of people might say those are flukes, but I've seen all the matches up close, and you have beaten everyone fair and square. So, good luck on your fly home, and congratulations again on your win here tonight and your championship match. And I hope everything goes well heading into Clash of Champions. Alright, so we're moving on to our next interview. It looks like we are going to hear from uh, Shibata after a big loss tonight in his debut match against, Boogeyman's debut match. He won against Shibata, but it was because the faction got involved of Destroyer, and it was Baron Corbin getting involved against Shibata um, and his opponent Boogeyman. So Shibata, do you regret saying those words about Destroyer now that he has the faction coming after you? Well, honestly, I don't know what to think at this point. I mean, I'm not afraid of anyone, any challenge. I lost fair and square to Boogeyman tonight. Congratulations and welcome to TPW. In your career, and this is what I'm going to put, Pepperjack, in a wrestling career, you will have wins and losses. There will be ups, there will be downs. There will be periods where you will not be even fighting in any matches at all. But one thing that you can do to make yourself better and to be a top superstar like me is hard work, fighting spirit, and determination. And I have all those three things. I know that most likely Destroyer would have gotten involved with my match because of what I said, and I don't regret what I said. I mean, Destroyer is disrespecting left and right legends. He tonight is a big example that he beat up his own uncle and disrespected him as a legend here in his match for the world title. Some people might say that that style is entertaining. Some might say it's disrespectful. I think it's disrespectful. Because people like The Rock, people like uh, The Ram, C. Brown, all those superstars, they paved a way for all of us to be here in the positions we are now, including Destroyer. How can you disrespect the people who placed a long history in building up the company like that? That doesn't make any sense. Um, but that is the Destroyer for you. I guess he will never change um, until someone beats him, and that one person, I guess, has to be me. Um, I've been training for a while now. I think it has been like a couple months. Um, I still want to wait it out to pick the perfect moment to place that challenge to the world champion. Um, be it Destroyer, whoever it will be, C. Brown in the future. But I think I have a clear idea of where I want to set that match. From now, I will say what pay-per-view I do want to fight in for that championship. And it will be TPW Extravaganza. And now, I know what you're gonna say, Pepperjack. It's a long ways away. I'm gonna have to wait almost a year to face whoever's champion, but it's worth it. It's worth to build up to that point to where at that pay-per-view, whoever will be champion will face a ready and trained Shibata for the world championship. And thank you for your time, Pepperjack. Well, definitely some big words also from Shibata. And exciting news, we know what will be the main event. Whoever wins at the TPW leading up to TPW Extravaganza, the championship, will be facing Shibata one-on-one in that main event. But nonetheless, we hear from now as well. We hear from C. Brown. Haven't heard from him in a while. He was involved in the Legends and Veterans Battle Royal tonight, so we'll hear from him right now. So C. Brown, you made it very clear that you wanted to be the next world champion, and you plan to stop this whole role that Destroyer's on with his faction, and now he added a new member in Baron Corbin. Are you afraid that he will have his faction there out with him for his matchup for the world title? Let me tell you something, brother. I don't care if it's who's a what's it, or Baron Corbin Danger, or his little, girlfriend or whatever, Tegan, out there to help him out. It doesn't matter who it is. Like I said, it's more different in a one-on-one contest with C. Brown than a tag team match. And I'm gonna prove to that youngster for disrespecting his own family, The Rock, as well as dismantling Razor and putting him on the shelf for who knows how long. I am going to stand up for the Legends at Clash of Champions next weekend, and it will be a match that Destroyer will not forget. And unfortunately, I know that it will be very difficult to overcome the essentially 4 people in that match because of all the people he has in his faction now, but nonetheless, I have my sources that I will have back up in that matchup with him, and you guys will see when it comes to it that C. Brown, the living legend, will always pick up the win. Well, thank you, C. Brown, for those words. Destroyer definitely has a lot to deal with, especially with all the enemies he's making. I don't know what he plans to do at the Clash of Champions, but lastly, we're going to hear from none other than the Ram. I mean, we heard from him earlier, but he will be closing out the statements here in our closing moments of the first tour back in Berlin, Germany. We'll hear from the Ram here. Well, Ram, you were involved in a big way in the Legends Battle Royal tonight. You won it. So many twists and turns tonight and things like that. What do you have to say about your son growing in his faction and being more unstoppable as a champion, and as you saw, even Danger getting what he wanted to be added to that matchup with now The Undertaker and Perseus and Yi for the Mid-Carter Championship. Are you afraid they're going to take over TPW with how they're going? Well, honestly, uh, it's a big faction. It's growing definitely. It's got 3 members, um, including, I guess, our newest addition to TPW is Baron Corbin, who got involved with Shibata and Boogeyman's match. No one saw that coming, actually. I didn't even see that coming, and I was in my office at the time watching the pay-per-view. So, honestly, it's like, it's difficult to say what will happen next with this faction of Destroyer and who will be able to stop Destroyer for the championship. We already know Shibata is claiming his trophy opportunity for the title at Extravaganza against whoever's the champion by then, but I have a strong feeling with this big faction growing and Destroyer's momentum growing. I believe it'll be Destroyer heading into Extravaganza being the world champion against Shibata. So Shibata has a lot to think about, and definitely we all have a lot to think about with our heads on a swivel, as Shibata mentioned before, keeping our heads on a swivel with this faction that's growing. And who knows who else will be added to that faction down the road. But for now, we have a big lineup in our pay-per-view of Clash of Champions, and definitely something to tune into next weekend. Especially next weekend, we will only have for that week the TPW home show, as well as the I believe the new talent show would be the only shows we would be having that week, unless I decide to change my mind and add an extra show. But for that week, to give the superstars a break, we will have like 2 shows that week, next week, before our big Clash of Champions pay-per-view. And again, on the 30th, we will have our TPW Ladders pay-per-view, which will have an opportunity for the next number 1 contender for the World Championship in the main event of that pay-per-view, which we already have lined up. And trying to think if I'm missing anything with the show. We have that, and I think that's it so far. I mean, moving forward, we will eventually have a battle royal, and that will determine also a championship opportunity on the sides of the women and men. They will have opportunities at Extravaganza to be the next number 1 contender of the title they're choosing, and that includes the obviously women's championship, as well as uniquely we have on the men's side the tag titles, the new talent championship, the mid-carter championship, and the world championship to be chosen of the person of their choosing in that battle royal as well. That will be coming up after TPW another pay-per-view in between TPW Ladders and that pay-per-view as well. So that will be exciting to have soon. We will be having that soon as well. So a lot of things to think about heading into Extravaganza. I can't believe we're halfway into the year mark of um, leading into Extravaganza already, and we've been back for a while, and it's been nothing but a big ride ever since TPW came back since 3 years ago, and had so many good matches so far, and especially on this first Berlin, Germany tour. It won't be our last tour. It will be one tour in the middle, heading into the road to TPW Extravaganza. We will have that coming up as well, in the middle there, the road there of TPW Extravaganza. And yeah, that's pretty much all the announcements that I had to say there for the shows coming up. Tune in again next weekend for that pay-per-view, and there'll be another one, like I said, for the ladders pay-per-view. So, just plugging at the end here, since we're almost out of time. We will have, if you want to tune in to TPW Live, you can always watch it on Twitch under Comics R100. And if you want to catch up on the shows you've missed, you can watch it on YouTube under TPW, and you'll see the superhero picture, and that's where you will find the show and all the videos you've missed up until now. And yeah, that's it, and I hope everyone enjoys their day, and thank you for tuning in to TPW as always. I am the Ram, and we have Pepperjack here at as the commentator. So everyone have a good day, and that's it. Well, thank you, Ram, for saying those words, and definitely some big matches coming up in the future. For now, we focused on Clash of Champions, heading into there. What will happen, we'll find out soon enough. And I'm Pepperjack, signing off.